Let's talk about anonymous function. So when these anonymous functions are necessary, what are the use cases of that, and some real-time applications for the anonymous functions that we'll see in this lecture. So try to build, initially we'll try to build a sample anonymous function which don't have any name. So we are just using a sample HTML file where our script is connected here, and the script.js file where we are just saying hello world. And let confirm the output. Yeah, we are able to see the outcome as well. So let's start with this. The very first thing, I'll create a variable called test function, because my function is an anonymous function that will not have any name. So I need a variable to store my function here. So how to write the anonymous function? So the function keyword, opening and closing curly brackets, where you can give the parameters. Right now, we don't want to give any parameters here. So let's open the body of our function. And here I'm just going to say a console or test function called. So this is how we are creating our first anonymous function. If you can observe the difference between anonymous function and the traditional one, if the same function I want to create in a traditional way, how I'll be creating? I'll writing the function name over here, test function. There are no parameters here, as you can observe. And this is my function body. So both are exactly the similar one. Even I can make it version 1 and I can make it version 2, so that both we can execute and assure both are exactly similar. So let me just call both of these function. Okay, let's confirm the output. Yes, both are executed in the same way. The calling of these functions are not changing. Only the way we are defining this function, the way we are declaring these functions are changing. So in the anonymous function, the importance is given to the parameters, to the return type, and the body of our function. There is no importance given to the name of the function, because once the function is getting created, then it's our choice where we are going to save that. In this case, we are storing inside test function v2. Okay, so let's make it more simple. Okay, so now we are holding our function inside the test function here. Can I do in this way? So I'm creating one more variable with the name called function test function v2, and I'm assigning test function over here. Is it allowed? Yes, it is of course allowed, because you are using this function as a value, as a literal. So initially you are storing it over here inside the test function. Now the same function you are also assigning it into the test function v2. So by using both of these variables, you can call the test function. So let's try to call the same function by using test function v2. Let's see the output. Yes, that would be exactly similar, because finally the same function is getting executed. With this, we'll also try one more. So what I want to try the test function is exactly equal to the test function v2. Make sure I'm using the triple equal to operator here, which means it is not only checking the value of it, it is also checking the data type of the complete these two functions. So let's see what could be the output. Yes, true. So this way we are confirming both of these variables are pointing to the same function, and there is not a single difference between these two variables which are holding our anonymous function. So where will be the requirement? This is just a test implementation without a function name, but where could be the actual requirement? So let me just comment out this code. So in this case, what I will do, I'll need a functionality after each and every second. I want to display 1, 2, 3, 4, a counter on my screen, or maybe in my console. So how I will be doing that? So the function available for that in the inbuilt in the JavaScript is set interval. So what this set interval will take the inputs, it is taking the two inputs. One is the function that we want to execute after every second, and the second is after how much duration it should get executed. So the first parameter I need to give here, the anonymous function, which will be executed after a certain period of time. So I'm missing with the syntax here. Give me a second. Yes, it's done. And the second parameter is it is needing the number in milliseconds. So what exactly it is saying? The set interval, the first parameter is the function which should get executed after a certain period of time. And what is a certain period of time? Here in this case, it is 1000 milliseconds. It means 1 second. Sounds good. So what I'm going to do here, this is my function body, right? If you can observe the difference here, this is the function keyword. There are no inputs to it, and this is my function body. So it is exactly similar to this. If you want to make it more simplified, you can just bring it on the next line to make it more simple in this way. Now I think you can observe the difference. So what I will do here, I'll just say a log and I'll mention hi. So what will happen now? So I'm applying the prettier now so that the text formatting will be applicable very well here, and we can see the outcome as per the prettier extension. So here I just want to say hi after every second here. So let's save this output. Yes, 1, 2. So it is saying hi in the console after every second here. So now what we want to do, we want to print a counter called 1, 2, 3 in this way. So I need a variable for this. Let count equals to 0, for example, and let it start with 0. And immediately after the console, what we will do, we will increment this counter by 1. So we should get 0, 1, 2, this in incrementing fashion, the numbers in our console now. Yes, we are getting it. So in this case here, the set interval function is accepting a function here, which will get executed after a certain period of time. So you don't need the name of the function. It just need the functionality. It just need what things should get executed. So here is the first use case we have seen where the name of the function is not important. The behavior of your function, the working of your function is important. And here you can observe there is no name to this function. Directly the working style of it, the body and the parameters, those are mentioning here only. So let's see one more example. We want on the screen, we want to display the timer. Let's say at what is the current number, like minutes, hours, and the seconds are currently going on, and we want to keep it updated after each and every second. So for that, I'll be needing inside my HTML, I'm having this hello world here, right? So what I'll do here, below this, I'll create one more call h2, for example. And here I'll give an ID here and I'll give that ID called time. And I'm not mentioning anything here. I'll just mention test here initially. Okay, so let's confirm. So in place of this particular test, I want to display the current timing, which is running on, and that I want to keep updated after each and every second. So we need to get the details. We need to refer this particular HTML element inside our JavaScript. So for that, we are having a dedicated functionality in the JavaScript. Let's say document dot get element by ID. And here I need to mention my ID of the HTML element. And now here I can say inner HTML. And for now, what we will do, we'll just mention the current counter, which we are currently consoling here. So let's see on the screen, we'll get the updated number after each and every second. Yes, we are getting a 0, 1, 2. So instead of this, I just want the current timing. So what I'll do for that, I'll say new date. Let's see now. Yes, we are getting the current time here, and we can observe after each and every second it is getting updated in this way. So here is one more quick functionality where we have seen how the anonymous function will be useful in the set interval. Like the set interval, there is one more called set timeout, which will get executed only once after a certain period of time, but the set interval is getting executed every time with infinite number of cycles after 1000 milliseconds. Let's try to see one more very good example for this anonymous function usage. So let's say we are having a function here with the name get function. And what is the parameter for this? The parameter is the operation. So what the functionality we want to build here? We want to create a function which will return a function to us with a corresponding operation capable to do that. So let's say if I'm giving a input called addition, maybe the input called subtraction, multiplication. So this get function will return me the function which is capable to perform the addition, the function which is capable to perform the subtraction or maybe the multiplication as per the input we are giving here. And these function, the written functions will be of course anonymous. They will not be having any names because they are returning from a function. So what I'll do here, I'll very first thing, if the operation is add operation. Okay, if the operation is the add operation, so what I'll do, I'll directly perform a return. So what I'm expecting to return, I'm expecting to return an anonymous function which is capable to perform an addition of two numbers. So how to write an anonymous function now? Again, super simple. As we have done earlier, just a function keyword, the starting and closing curly bracket, the rounded brackets where we can give the parameters. So we need the two parameters here, and after that the body of our function. And inside this body of our function, I just want to return number one plus number two here. That's it. Or to make it more simplified, what we can do, we can just do the console here because the written and written may be looking complicated in this case. So I'll make it more simple by just writing a console. So here simply, generally we return some string or number here like this, maybe a true false statement like this. But in this case, what we are doing, we are directly returning a function. And this is possible because of the anonymous function. Super cool. So let's start with the next operation here. Operation subtract. And here again written function opening closing rounded bracket number one number two, and if we want to log number one minus number two, that's it. Good. So now we are ready with one function which is capable to return us the different functions with respect to the different inputs here. So what I'll do here now, I'll say let I want an addition function. Let's have a close look at here. This is a simple variable for which the name I have given add function. So here I want to put a function which is capable to perform an addition so that I can later use it. So what I'll do here, I'll take help of get function. Please provide me the addition function I'm requesting to the get function. So I need to give the input called add here. So it is going to return you this function. And now this function, the addition function is getting assigned to our add function here. So if I just call add function and if I open my brackets here, it is giving me option to provide the two numbers as an input and I'm giving 1 comma 3. So it should give us the addition of that and we should get an output 4 here. Let's see. Yes, we are getting it. So again, try with the subtract function. Subtract and get function I want for the subtraction. Make sure the capital case and everything should match here because we are using the triple equal to operator. And here the name of this is subtract function 1, 3. We should get -2. Yes, we are getting it. So let's try to observe the code now again and what's happening in background. So very first thing when we are calling this get function, so just focus on this part here. What exactly happening with this? It is going here and returning you a function. So let me just copy this and place it instead of this get function. This is what happening in this case. Super clear. So now this is a simple anonymous function that we have studied earlier here, right? This is a simple anonymous function. I can directly call it add function and give the number one and the number two as a parameter. And that's what we are doing here. And let me just undo the functionality. So hope it's super simple now how the anonymous function will power your program to return the function from another function to give the function as an input, and many more possibilities are available with the anonymous function. And these features are used in the advanced frameworks like React, Angular, Vue.js, and more.